Ford had an incredible sales year for 1929, and they had begun turning the tide to regain their place as the #1 automaker. They had made great efforts to advance the styling of their lineup, and the newly redesigned cars for 1930 gave them a fighting chance. But the stock market crash in October of '29 and its ensuing repercussions against the economy led to a downward sales trend in 1930. Ford began production of 1930-styled cars in November 1929, and we already did a video about them that you should check out if you haven't. We included those 1930 cars built in 1929 in this video. In 1930, Ford also tried to reverse their sales decline by introducing deluxe versions of their existing lineup. Here's the breakdown of Model A passenger cars built in 1930. The town car was never a strong seller, and 1930 was a frantic scramble to try and get rid of existing stock. The bodies were adapted to 1930 cowls, and only 96 of these were produced that year. 1930 was the swan song for the business coupe. 110 of these low-cost cars were built, and all of them in foreign assembly plants. We couldn't find any photos of these low-production cars, so here are some '29 pics. The Taxi continued to be a low seller in 1930, but Ford still produced 273 of them. A bit of a mystery comes up when talking about the 1930 Deluxe two-door. Records show that 435 of these cars were built, but there's some question as to whether they are destined for foreign markets or if they are ever even released at all. If anybody has a true factory 1930 Deluxe two-door, let us know in the comments. An example of a deluxe offering came in the way of the two-door, 5-passenger Deluxe Phaeton. Featuring a dropped floor to help lower the overall body lines of the car, 4,365 of these rakish open cars were built. The Victoria was another new for 1930 body style that again featured a recessed floor. It was also the first Ford offering to feature the all-new slanting windshield design. Introduced in November of 1930, 6,447 of these Class C cars were built. The Victoria came in a leatherback and steelback design, but Ford didn't separate how many of each were produced. There's some amateur accounting to narrow it down, which we'll get to in another video someday. Ford again was a little screwy with their four-door models in 1930, but the 170B Standard was the steelback version that started production in 1930. It was only built in the first 3 months, with a single example built in April. Still, 7,838 rolled off Ford assembly lines in 1930. Ford introduced the Deluxe Roadster in August to try and increase bad sales. Featuring color wheels, side-mount spare, and a lower top, 11,629 of the dressed-up two-seater found their way to dealer showrooms. Ford replaced the 170B Standard two-window four-door with the 170B Deluxe two-window four-door in the spring of 1930. It featured similar interior appointments to that of the town sedan. 13,710 of these classy steelbacks were built. The Cabriolet was a strong seller in 1930, with 29,226 of the enclosed convertible ending up driving the streets of the world. The Deluxe Coupe was announced in February and had an improved interior and came from the factory with cowl lights. 29,777 of the upgraded coupe were sold. The Phaeton body style was falling out of favor with the general public as more and more buyers were looking for closed car because of the creature comforts that came with them. 39,884 of the four-door convertible were built. The standard four-door, or the 165B, was the plain Jane three-window sedan. It was enough of a car to see 53,959 assembled worldwide. With a number of 72,572, the Sport Coupe continued to be a strong seller for Ford in 1930. The town sedan, known as the 155B, was Ford's top-of-the-line traditional four-door and was the fourth best-selling Model A that year. 122,534 of the refined town sedan were proudly owned. You would think that with 122,703 examples of the standard Roadster being built, it would indicate strong sales, but monthly production went from 22,000 built in April to just 600 in August. This resulted directly in the creation of the Deluxe Roadster. The second best-selling Model A of 1930 goes to the standard coupe. 232,564 of the five-window coupe were sold. No surprise, the two-door sedan was the best-selling body style once again. While 424,709 seems like a big number, it was 140,000 less than the previous year. Ford's introduction of the Deluxe models helped to keep sales relatively strong. All total, passenger car production ended 1930 with 1,172,833. That's 371,000 cars less than 1929. It could be argued that 1930 was the last great sales year for the Model A, as 1931 sales suffered terribly. As always, we hope you continue to enjoy a Model A.